So today is day 2 of this ChatGPT project. So today we are going to start coding our application. So in here you can see this is a blank page here, and we don't have anything inside. So we are starting from scratch, and then we'll end up with something that look like ChatGPT, because we are building ChatGPT Clone. So I will add 2 folders here. So let me click at that folder. This folder, I call it front end here. And for front end, we'll be using Angular, but if you want us to use something like React, we can use it. So let me add that folder there, and also let me add backend here. So that is backend and the front end here, because we're adding the code for the front end here and the code for the backend here. So for our backend, we'll be using nodejs here. So another thing that I want us to add is a file called gitignore. So we need gitignore here, and this gitignore will help us to hide some of the things that we don't want to push into our GitHub. So for example, I don't want to push any file called .env, because this is where we put our secret keys and some other things that we want to hide from the world. So the other thing is the folder called dist, and another folder that I don't want to push is node_modules. This is where the node installs all the packages, that is. So now that's all that I want to hide there. So let us start from here. So if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe, and also if you haven't liked this video, like, and I'll see you in the tutorial. So now we have this 2 empty folder here, and also we have this .ignore file here. So what we'll do now, we'll start with our backend. I want to start this project from the backend, and then we'll move to the front end here so that we complete the whole project. So what we'll do, I have navigated already to this folder here from the terminal, or even you can open this terminal from here. Click on terminal up here, and then new terminal, and then the VS will open a terminal for you here, so where we can start installing the packages that we want, that is, or the one that we'll be using. So it is taking time here, and I don't know why. So okay, it's okay now. Let's move to backend here. So I'm moving to the backend, and now I'm in the backend. So in the backend, this is where I need to start coding, or to start coding our application for the backend. So I'll do npm and then init, because this is how you add, or just how you start the node application. That is, this is how you initialize the node application. So I have done npm init and then -y. This is meaning that I'm accepting any option that we have in this here. So we click on enter. So let it generate the package.json file. So that's one is generating. So inside here now, you can see we don't have any file, but when this complete to initialize the node application, we will have a package.json file. So in here, backend, I want to add another file that is called index. You can see this package.json has been generated, because now we have initialized the node application. So in this folder here now, I want to add another file. I call this index.js here. So we have this as our entry point for our application. So first of all, I want to now add other packages that we need to use in this tutorial, or in this project. So let me clear first of all here. I have cleared it. So I will do npm, and then that means that it is to install. And then the first package that we need to use is course, that one here. And then I think we need Morgan. Another thing we need is express, and I think body parser. We need body parser for JSON data, that is. So JSON body parser. I think it is body parser, something of the sort. Okay, it is body parser, I think. Yeah. So another that we want is I think .env, because we need to hide some of the API keys or other things that are secret. So the other thing that we need to add or to install is OpenAI here, because we are using OpenAI APIs. So now we can install these packages, and now we can start from here. So click on enter, and then you can see here it has started installing the package. And because I know it will take time, we'll pause this video here and we'll continue when the packages will be installed. So all packages have been installed. As you can see here, 8 packages are looking for funding. That means that we have these 8 packages that we have installed. So I'll drag this down here, and then if you come here in the back end, you can see now we have this folder that is called node modules. So now we have our entry point here. This is called index.js, and this is where we start coding our application. So now I want to first of all drag this up here, and there's one package that I forgot to install, and that is nodemon. And nodemon will just inspect our code, and then if there is any change, it will reflect direct to our application. So just install this. So we are installing it just there, and then we start initializing our server using nodemon other than node, that is. So if you have done node, you know this. So that is install is a pretty small package. So that's all, and then I'll drag it back to where I had it was. So now the first thing that I need now to get is const to import is express. We need to import express, and we'll import it from a package called express here. So this is express. Another thing that we want to import is const.env. So const.env, and this one is coming from .env file. So .env package, that is. So the other one is body parser. So we need to have a body parser here. So body parser, and this one is coming also from this body parser package. So body parser, you can see we have auto completion. So which one do we need? We need cause. So const cause here, and this one we also getting from the cause package. So we have cause package here, just like that. And what else do we need? I think we need let me look here. So I think we have already what we want. So the other thing that we need to do is to configure .env. So .env.config, and before I forget, we need to have now a file for .env, and we'll add it inside this backend folder here. So this is .env there. So in here I will add open API key, open API underscore key. I will add my open AI API here, my key here for the API. So actually we just add without those quotation marks. So let's continue coding. So we'll add our API here, but I won't show you because I don't want anybody to misuse my API key. So the other thing that we need to add is to initialize is const an app. So our server, that is. So we'll have app and then express, and then call this function that is called express there. And because I'm creating a lot of space, let me format this document a little bit. So just like that. And then the other thing that I want to add here is now to start initializing our application, our server, that is. So I can do app.reason, yeah, and this is a function. So in here in the env.env, I can add a port that I want our server to run on. So this port I will give it port 8000 there. So in here, in my application now, before I start reasoning for this server on this port, I just want to get the port, and the port I am getting it from process.env.port, because this is how you get the variables that are in .env file. So after that, now we need to give this function here the port. After the port, now we can give it the callback function. So the callback function, this is where we can create or add this code here. We say console.log, and then give it something that will show us in our console. So I'll say server is running on port. Actually, I need to use backticks. So let me use backticks. So here we have backticks. So I'll say server is running on let me add the interpolation, text interpolation, and give it port just like that. So you can see our server is running on port, this one here. So I just want to initialize my application. So I just say nodemon, I'm using nodemon, and then I'll say index.js here. So let me see how this will work. If this will work, you can see here we have some error. My application is breaking. So let me see why this is not happening. So let me look here, and you can see cannot be loaded between running script is disabled on this is disabled on this system. So I don't know why. Let me try node and then index, or maybe let me first of all list the directories here. So we have this dot index, okay, and then it's okay. So let me now do node and then index.js, and then let's see if our application will work. So our application is somehow not working. So let me first of all do like that, and then you can see here script is disabled on this system. For more information, see as about execution policies. So let me drag this down here. So because we have this error, now I paused the video and I wanted to go and research on the why we have this error. So I researched, and here you can see in Stack Overflow here, you can see we have this error that occurs. So I have never encountered such an error. So I went and researched, and this was the solution. So I had to copy this command here and then open my PowerShell as an admin, and then run this command there, and this fixed the error. So if you open again here, you can see we have this here, this our server here, and if you scroll down here, you can see our server is running on port 8000. So let me command control this so that you can see. So let me now run the command. So if you run this nodemon index.js, you can see now we have our server that is running on 8000, port 8000. So this is the day 2 of this project. I don't want to have this tutorial bigger than 20 minutes, so or larger than 20 minutes. So let's stop here, and I'll see you in the next tutorial where we start now integrating OpenAI APIs.